Hi, this is George Mebane again. Um, I wanted to say to some it may this is YouTube. To some it may be morning, some may be afternoon, but good day to to my positive thinkers, creators, um, people that's going for their passion, and hopefully that hopefully we can relate. Hopefully, during this video, I can you can relate to some things that I'm saying, or we have some things in common, and it will help you to keep moving forward as you're going after your dreams. Um, I wanted to. I was looking at my last video, and I wanted to, yeah, go over some things. So this video here would be like the, I guess, the closing of the beginning, as far as how things started when I first came to New York. It's been a trip and it's been a ride, but it's been good, and it's been real. And I've as I said, I've ran across some very cool people that's out there, and I don't know. The ride's been good. So that's another reason why I tell people that it's a win-win situation with positive thinking. My attitude must follow. You have a win-win, and I tell while I'm out there doing positive thinking, and I'm going to be real. I'm going to be real as I can be. If you don't, and here's how I look at things, and it makes sense. The reason why I say that it's a win-win, especially when you're going after your dreams, is because if some reason that you don't make it, something may happen. God may have other plans, or it just wasn't the right fit, or maybe other things have crossed your path to where you have to now, you know, spend your finances in different places, or whatever events life may throw you. The reason why I say it's a win-win with positive thinking, my attitude must follow, is because the ride. Let's see, the ride before the finish line. I remember this saying came from Arnold Schwarzenegger one time, and I'm sort of putting both of them together. He said that it's not the top that where you have the most fun, because when you're at the top, there's nothing else left to do. He said it's the journey to get to the top. That's the ride. That's the enjoyment of going after your passion, and especially dealing with I call them the naysayers. The naysayers, especially dealing with the naysayers. I don't want to get too deep, but there's a time and place for everything. That's what I say. So I'm just doing this YouTube video, and I'm just really, some things I'll write down, but sometimes I'll do it up just off the strip. So there's a time and place for everything, especially when speaking too. So, but that's where the win-win comes. And when I do positive thinking, or as I'm going out through my day, I'm always looking for a win-win. Well, not always. Sometimes, I'm conscious about it now, looking for that win-win. But okay, so getting back to closing the beginning. So yeah, I was in front of Starbucks. Got to go back to Starbucks because that's in the beginning. I was in front of Starbucks, and I want to brush up on positive thinking. As I've said in the last video, it was a lot of this. No. No. Now, I started doing positive thinking right before Obama left office. Um, I think he was doing a year. He did a year. I think I caught him at it, the 9 months to a year that he was in office, and then Trump came in, whatever. So I was here in New York, and as you know now, I was out there saying positive thinking, my attitude must follow, and I got a lot of shaking of the heads. No, and I couldn't. I was walking around town, and I was like. The first the shaking of the heads came in, and I was like, I was walking around town. I was like, what do you mean, no positive thinking? Because I'm like, okay, as I said, it's morning time, and I'm a morning person. I love the mornings. I've always loved the mornings. I've loved the mornings when growing up at home, and as I was talking about, I talked about church, and I just. And my mom and dad would fix this big breakfast or whatever, and then I would go to church. So I love the mornings, and but I played with the night, So and I played with the night with when I was doing my little run with the negative way and what I was doing. So, let's see. I wanted to. So yeah, it was shaking of the heads. A lot of shaking of the head. And I was saying, okay, it's morning time. We're about to get coffee, and you're going to work, being grateful that you have a job, and you got family, and just being grateful in the morning time. You got a job, family, you're going to work, and you're alive and got good health. Just being grateful in the morning time. And then, as I said, when I was out there, I got a lot of shaking of the heads. And I couldn't understand this. I said, why are these people shaking their heads? What are these people shaking their heads about? I said, I'm out here, motivating people. Passing off, giving off positive energy, giving off positive vibes. Wishing people well, have a good day. If you're going after your dreams, go after your dreams. Hey, they bring the kids out, and I love it. They come up, and I love all that stuff. And, because things are matching up. See, loving the match. And I go out there, and, and I give off positive energy, and they give me positive energy. So we feed off each other. So I just got some shaking of the heads, and I was walking around, and I was saying to myself, well, I know what's right. I know what's right. And I know where I just came from. But in this morning time, and people are going to work, and I'm getting shaken of the heads. But then the thing about it, when I was doing negative thinking, negative attitude, I was still getting shaking of the heads. But I don't, but I can understand that. Because I was doing wrong, and but nothing. I thank God. So what just going and learning. But anyway, so after the shaking of the heads, I was walking around New York, and I just couldn't believe it. And, and when I go out to 31st and 6th, it's a mixture of people. You have whites and you have blacks. But see, when I got to New York, I didn't know, I just landed in New York and went to Starbucks and started talking about positive thinking. So I didn't know what was what, what's white and what's this and what's black. Okay? Let's see. There's another story. I just thought about something. But anyway, yeah, because when I was growing up, as I tell people, I was raised a certain way. And I'm going to go ahead and put this out there now. My best friend, he was a white guy. I'm not going to put his name out there, but he's a white guy. He's still my best friend to this day. My best friend, I'm just going to put a little point to this. My best friend introduced me to the black folks in the neighborhood. But when I was growing up, my first two best friends were white. One was a girl and one was a guy, and they were my best friends. And you know, so my best friend in the neighborhood introduced me to the black folks in the neighborhood. So my best friend lived like right across the street from me. So, boom. So and I'll get to the story with I'll get to all this other stuff later. Dylan talking about coexisting with one another and just how I feel about. I'll get into I don't. Basically, I'll spill it out right now. I just don't get into the black and white thing. Put it like that. I just don't get into the black and white thing. I love people. I like people. I love people. And that's what I got to say about that, because I want to get on to something else. Okay, so I'm back to the boo positive thinking. So first it was the shaking of the heads, and then it went to boo positive thinking. Now boo positive thinking came in when Donald Trump, when he was running for his he was doing his campaign and he was running for president. And I told, and here's how boo positive thinking came in, because I was out there doing positive thinking when Obama left office, and then Donald Trump came in, and really, I guess watching the news and just going off a vibe, and I used the wishbone and I compared it. I put it, it's like branding, like when you brand a cow. I took the wishbone, the double positives on one side and double negatives on the other side, and I branded against the president, or the president of the United States. And I guess from the boo positive thinking, you had a lot of Trump supporters. And as I said, it's not about black or white. It's not about a Republican or Democrat with me, but I just know where I came from, and I know where I want to go today. And folks don't mind me sharing, so hopefully people on YouTube won't mind me sharing. But I was out there and I was speaking. I said, wait a minute. Now I'm out here talking about positive thinking, and I know Trump lives in New York, but I said something is not going to fit right. But let me go. I said something is not going to fit right. I was talking about boo positive thinking. I guess a lot of Trump supporters, or were Trump supporters, or whatever is going on, they were like, no positive thinking, boo positive thinking. I could sort of understand that, because I was using the presidency or the president to show how this wishbone would work. I had to use something in order to show how this wishbone would work, so that people won't think that I was out of my mind. So that's why a lot of things are now, I guess, becoming true with what's going on with the presidency. So I didn't want to come up here and just talk about Trump or whatever. But anyway, so going back to the wishbone. So now I explained the closing or the beginning. I finished up the beginning, so I can close with that. But for every now and then throughout my videos, I'll go back and I'll hint on certain things from the beginning. So hopefully all the things that I talked about in these two videos, hopefully, I won't say anything that's different in the two videos on how the beginning started. On the wishbone, insanity, I want to talk about the 4 channels of misery. Okay? The 4 channels of misery. And this is how the footage room breaks down. As I said, misery likes to sit in the footage room, and instead of moving forward in life and making the wheels move forward, it just wants to sit in the footage room watching old footage, asking the same questions over and over again. Now, my thing is, my thing is I like to move forward with things. Once as I tell people, once I have an understanding, then I can move forward. Now, you have one side of the wishbone, double positives. I say, when I'm out there, I said I like to wake up, be myself, and wake up and make sense, and have some understanding. Now, on the other side of the wishbone, I tell my positive thinkers misery, insanity, likes to go the way of nonsense. If you have sense on one side of the wishbone, then nonsense, insanity, negative thinking, negative attitude, looking for positive results. It operates off of nonsense. So I call that doing things on purpose without seriously thinking it through. This for the president. See? You see? Doing things on purpose without seriously thinking it through. Now, if you're operating off of hate, racism, this is where I was using the wishbone, and I was telling you that I had to brand it against him. Now, if you're running off of racism. Now, when he first came out, he said, and we can rewind the whole thing. When he first came out, it was forget about black folks. I'm not gonna, but forget about black folks. Forget about the police, which he's still saying to this day. And the women, you can do anything with them. Now, that's what he said. You can do anything. And I was saying that I was branding the wishbone, and I said that I was like, you just can't just come out on stage and to the public and talk about people like that and expect nothing to happen. And especially, I guess the man's business is this man's business, but I was using the wishbone, so I'm gonna get off of riding on his back. But I was like, you can't just come out on stage like that, saying all these things, and expect nobody to be in your business. See, that's why I say doing things on purpose without seriously thinking it through. But then when things get into your business, but now you're mad. And this is how insanity operates. And then I say, well, who are you mad at? Who can you be mad at? If I did it to myself, which is called sabotaging. Negative thing, I would wake up and sabotage myself. Negative thinking, negative attitude, looking for positive results. I'm going to sabotage myself if I can't receive those positive results. Basically, if I can't make the jump. So I said now, misery operates off of 4 channels. 4 channels. So, and it all comes from doing things on purpose without seriously thinking it through. Okay. So think of it as doing things on purpose without seriously thinking it through. On top, and it branches off. Now, the first channel, the play dumb channel. Oh, play dumb. Gotta play dumb. I got to play dumb. Now, I have I've had some experience. I've been the victim. I've been the victim of play dumb. And I could recognize the look. I could recognize the looks, man. The play dumb. You go and talk, and then you ask. I'm just going to give an example. Have you seen such and such? Did I see the car, and it was like 6 cars outside, and it was such and such, and then you get this. I don't know what you're talking about. But even the neighbors said that they saw a bunch of cars, and it was this. And you didn't hear anything or see anything? They didn't stop. Nobody stopped by? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see anybody. I don't know. You're just telling me some news now. but you have witnesses that argue the fact on what the person that's playing dumb is talking about. But it's a certain look. It's a certain look, and if you're catching a person up enough times, you're gonna notice this look. And the first, I don't know what you're talking about. That's the first things that come, and stuff doesn't match up. It doesn't match up with what's really going on. So that's why I call that the number one is the play dumb channel. So watch out for that, positive thinkers. The play dumb channel. And see, then the play dumb channel can get you, and I tell my positive thinkers, watch out for ridiculous talk, because the play dumb channel can get you caught up into ridiculous talk. And see, there's not enough time in the day with ridiculous talk. There's not enough time. Not enough time, you know. And then it just goes in circles. That's one of and this comes from doing things on purpose without seriously thinking it through. And saying on the insanity side, the look of new news. That sort of goes with the Play Dumb channel. But the look of new news, like when you come in and okay, I give you the same. Did you see those cars parked outside? And you know, did you see those cars parked out? And then you get. And they just stay stuck. So you get this like you're telling me some new information. You're telling me something new. But see, as I said, these channels are here to throw a person off the look of new news. You just got this, like you're telling me something new. I never heard this before. But evidence and witnesses suggest otherwise. Evidence and witnesses suggest otherwise. But then you get the look of new news. It's a little sign. So, in the Brush Off channel. That's number 3. The Brush Off channel. Okay. Let's see. Did you go out last night? I heard. No, I didn't go out. I heard that you was with such and such, and then it could just just throw a shoulder. Well, forget about that. I don't need to know what let's talk about or why we always got to talk about that? Trying to, just trying to throw it off. Why do you always got to talk about that? Why do you always got to bring that up? Or it's like a brush off. Can't we just like brush it off and throw it away? The Brush Off channel. Misery. Certain things, it just likes to operate by that. Especially when you get your hand caught in a cookie jar. It's like, why we always got to talk? Why we always got to bring that up? So these are certain things to look out for. I want to make sure I hit. Yeah. When Misery gets his hand caught in a cookie jar, just wants to brush it off. Like, does that really matter? Or, well, why don't you look at this instead of looking at this? Look at how much, and I can go by that, the president again. Well, look how much he has done, with this, the economy. So why, look at all this. Why even worry about the investigation and what's going on? Why even worry about that? I had to use brand the wishbone against something, so hopefully things will make sense. I'm gonna tell you this. This is a good one. People going after passion. Watch out for this one. Watch out for this one. This is a big one. Misery loves this one, buddy. The channel of doubt. Oh man, channel of doubt. Oh, I get doubt, buddy. Doubt. Is that, you know what? They talk about it's not gonna work. It's not gonna. I remember going out there. It goes along with boo positive thinking and all the shaking of the head stuff. The channel of doubt is not gonna work. And then I'm thinking to myself, How in the world? How in the world? And then you have people, college educated people. It's not going to work. And I said, well, how in the world is the matchup not going to work? How in the world is positive thinking, positive attitude, having patience for my results not going to work? And while I have patience, I do other things. And it was, with the matchup. I said, how is positive thinking not going to work? And I said, well, if positive thinking is not going to work, and I know that you're just not going to come out in the mornings and tell everybody that you do negative thinking, not with all them police and undercover cops out there. So you're not going to admit to a negative thinking. So I tell people, I said, if it's boo positive thinking, you're not going to admit to a negative thinking, then what type of thinking do you do? What type of thinking do you do? If it's boo positive thinking and shaking of the heads and it's not going to work, and negative thinking, you're not going to admit that. You're not going to be, it's not in the morning time you're going to go out there and say, I do negative thinking, and then all those undercover police and all that other stuff. So what type of thinking do you do? So, the channel of doubt. Oh yeah, channel of doubt. I was on that. So yeah, that goes along with the shaking of the heads, and it's not going to work. Misery, trying to throw doubt. And I'm like, well, how in the world can one, and I say misery, and I look at misery like negative energy. It's energy. Negative thinking, negative attitude, looking for negative attitude, negative energy, attitude, energy, negative thinking, planting the seed, negative attitude. I'm going to use some energy. Why do I use that energy? Looking for positive results. I got to make the jump. Why do I have a negative attitude? Because I'm taking risk. I'm taking risk that as I said, and I put this in the footage room, and I'll talk about that later. I'm taking risk, and it's eating at me because there's a chance that I might get caught. That's why I have the negative attitude. There's got to be reasons. Why do you have a negative attitude? You just have a negative attitude for no reason. Why do you have a negative attitude? Is there a reason? That's why I tell my positive thinkers, hold on to your reasons just like the rope. When you're climbing up a cliff, you're climbing up. That's your reasons is that rope. Keep climbing, and you got the reasons. That's your safety. You hold on to those reasons. This is because you can explain. Because those are your reasons. And those reasons, you can look at it like bases, where you're standing on base. Those are your reasons. And doing things on purpose without seriously thinking it through, there's you don't have any reason to do that. You're just doing it just because, for despite, So, I don't know. I talked about I talked about the play dumb, the look of new news, the brush off channel, and the channel of doubt. And then I tell my positive thinkers, and I tell people, well, I have confidence. I've confidence. I'm confident in myself. I know that I'm not perfect. But as far as I tell my positive thinkers, as far as me and confidence, I've had confidence for, I don't know. I've had confidence for a minute. I know, as I said, I'm not perfect. But as far as destroying confidence, that's just, I'm thinking of ways on how could I destroy my confidence. And confidence, I have had confidence. There's nothing wrong there's nothing wrong with me and confidence. My confidence will always be there. Higher power. That's what I can go back to. That's what I guess I have to blame it on. Higher power. Thank God for that. So misery tries to come by with doubt. And as I said, if I don't know something and I'm interested in it, and I'll learn and see what's going on. So I'm trying to destroy confidence, misery. But yeah, when I'm speaking, it's just like, Well, negative energy. Some people, it just shakes his head, and I'm like, I know how I feel about people, and I told my positive thinkers this. I already know how I feel about people, and I'm not too much worried about what I'm going to say because I know that everything has to match. It matches up, and it all goes back to the beginning. So there's no way. Thank God, but there's no way that it can go wrong because everything that I'm going to say it matches up. So those are the four things that four channels that I wanted to tell you how misery operates off of. And it all comes from doing things on purpose without seriously thinking it through. And this is, as I said, this is on the negative side of the wishbone. On the insanity side, negative thinking, negative attitude, looking for positive results, doing things on purpose without seriously thinking it through, leading with hate, revenge or get back or whatever it is just leading with hate. And as I tell my positive thinkers, misery exposes itself. Sometimes it does mean to do it, but most of the time it doesn't mean to do it. You see, misery exposes itself. Sometimes it does mean to do it when it wants to be spiteful. Well, I did this and I did, but usually that's why they say I caught you in a lie. Misery does not mean to expose itself, but it has to. And then that's where I go back to questions that I ask myself. I always ask myself questions, and then that's why I put amen into the footage room. I say, well, can you say amen to that, or do you still have questions? Let's see. There's lots more that I have in this footage room. I'm gonna I think I've covered everything. But going after passion is as I said, it's I was talking about the win-win. It's a win-win. Going after your passion, because as I said, I wanna put this out there too. On one side of the wishbone, positive thinking, positive attitude, we don't take nonsense seriously. That's another telltale sign. On the insanity side, negative thinking, negative attitude, it takes nonsense seriously. Very serious. But on positive thinking, positive attitude, we don't take it seriously because we know that we're not buying it or buying into it. Like, what are you selling? I'm not buying. I don't want it. What are you selling? I'm not buying. I don't want it. Got enough nonsense. Got enough nonsense of my own. Why would I need your nonsense? I got nonsense of my own. I don't need your nonsense, so I'm not buying. See? Especially if somebody come and bring you some nonsense and then they want money too. No, nonsense. See? Nonsense. You gotta see, and then that's when you get caught up in the ridiculous talk for like 3 hours. And then you done look by and you late for work because you caught up in ridiculous talk about nonsense, and then on top of that they want money. After you done said no one time, then they gotta put money to icing the cake. No. See? No. Okay, so listen, positive thinkers. I'm gonna leave it here. I want you to have a positive day. And as I said, YouTube will meet the 31st and 6th. You will meet my positive thinkers. As I said, they help me. One hand washes another. There's some beautiful people. I love them. And YouTube will meet the 31st and 6th. So I'll work on that project, but I have more that goes into this footage room. And as I said, I call it Positive Seeds. And if you can, while I have it on my mind, and if you can please like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Have a beautiful day. Positive thinking. My attitude must follow.